Thank you. Chair Molinar, Ranking Member Khanna, and distinguished members of the committee. Thank you for the opportunity to testify on the importance of competing with the rapidly expanding Chinese biotechnology ecosystem. My name is Jacob Becraft, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Strand Therapeutics, a clinical stage biotechnology company in Boston, developing next-generation genetic medicines for cancer and autoimmune disease. Today, Chinese competitors are reshaping the way we make medicines. Here in the United States, the pattern we're seeing is all too familiar. Over the past several decades, we allowed critical manufacturing capacity to move overseas because it appeared economically efficient. In hindsight, those decisions created strategic vulnerabilities and supply chain dependencies that we are now rectifying. We cannot afford to make this same mistake with biotechnology. Rapidly, this expands beyond an issue of health or economics, but one of national security. A future where we hand control to China over the discovery, development, and manufacturing of the medicines we rely on is truly not far away. In many ways, it's already here. At the center of this competition is something fundamental to the entire biomedical industry: human clinical data. The defining competitive metric in modern biotechnology is no longer who discovers a promising therapy first, it is who can turn that discovery into first-in-human clinical data the fastest. The country that generates that early human data most efficiently is the country where the rest of the biotechnology ecosystem will grow. China has recognized that, and sadly, we have not. Over the past decade, China has aggressively expanded its clinical trial infrastructure and decentralized early phase approvals. As a result, it has become significantly faster and cheaper to obtain early clinical readouts in China than in the United States. In fact, China recently surpassed the US in total clinical trial activity, driven largely by early phase trials. In turn, American companies look overseas to run trials, and many Americans, especially those in rural areas, are left with fewer options for life-saving therapies here at home. This matters because early clinical data creates what I describe as a flywheel effect. When a therapy produces early human results, that program becomes de-risked. Investors step in, partnerships form, companies grow, and manufacturing capacity expands. Clinical centers gain experience running more clinical trials, and the cycle repeats. While China's system is growing in size and experience, ours is sadly shrinking. If that flywheel continues to spin in Shanghai instead of Boston, San Francisco, or other biotech hubs here in the United States, the center of gravity for the development of most medicines will shift there as well. But that future is not inevitable, and we can fix it. Unfortunately, our current system makes it difficult for American innovators to compete on this metric. Today, it often takes 2 to 3 years here in the US to move from a promising discovery to dosing the first human patient in a clinical trial. In China, that timeline is often less than a year. While many American biotech companies spend millions of dollars generating lengthy INDs with thousands of pages of data to initiate a trial here in the US, Chinese companies are beating them to clinical trials with similar technologies. This time difference is a painful wrench threatening the future of our domestic biomedical innovation engine. 2 factors drive this delay: regulatory processes and infrastructural coordination. Early trials with only a handful of patients are treated by regulators similarly to large, later-stage trials. At the same time, manufacturing and clinical trial systems often operate separately, adding additional time, cost, and even regulatory hurdles that need to be cleared. As biotechnology moves forward, more platform therapeutic approaches, such as genetic medicines, precision drugs, and novel therapies designed with AI, this model becomes increasingly inefficient. Fortunately, this challenge is solvable. The US should modernize how early-stage clinical trials are initiated. Many first-in-human studies are small, with only a few trial sites for patients with no remaining standard of care. Creating more flexible initiation pathways while maintaining FDA oversight and safety would reduce delays and help innovators generate early clinical signals faster. Australia is a country that does this well and should be a case study that we should learn from. They use local ethics committees to grant approval for first-in-human trials while remaining rigorous oversight so that safety is not compromised in the process. Decentralization doesn't mean lowering standards, because no one is more incentivized to protect patients than the hospital's own review boards that oversee that patient's safety. Secondly, early-stage manufacturing infrastructure should be reindustrialized and better aligned with clinical trial sites, allowing therapies to move quickly from production to patient dosing. This will reduce logistical delays, enable faster iteration, and ensure early validation of novel therapies occurs within the American clinical setting. Biotechnology is one of the defining strategic industries of the 21st century. It will shape economic growth, public health, and national security for decades to come. At the center of that competition is a critical question. Where will the next generation of human clinical data be generated? Thank you for the opportunity to testify today, and I look forward to your questions.
Thank you, and Dr.